So when you open PyScripter, you're going to see a window like this. You're going to need to make a new folder, or a new file rather. So either go to New Python Module, or you can just click on the blank paper right here. And by default, if you're at school here, you'll find that there's a default comment header there. For every program that you make and hand in to me, what you're going to want to do is fill in the information here. So for example, I'll just call this input/output demo. And the purpose is just to show you how to take values from the user and print a result. Okay, then you'll want to put your name in here. So I'll just put my name there. And then, of course, this should get automatically formatted for you. And then we're good to go. So the way that things work in Python is if I want to take an input from the user, there's a built-in function for me to do that, and it's called input. So I can just type in input, put in brackets, and here I need to include a string. So anything that's a string needs to have quotes around it. So I'm going to put quotes, and I'll just say, please enter a number. Now, when we run this in Python, if I go up here and hit the run button, the little green arrow, what's going to happen, it's going to pop open a box like that, a little prompt box, and I can put in a number like, say, 34. And currently, you can see the result down here did absolutely nothing. And the reason for that is although we took in input from the user, we haven't actually done anything with it. So what you need to do is you first need to create a variable to store the information that the user just typed in. So in our case, I'm just going to call it the number equals. And remember that you're going to want to use either camel case or you're going to want to use underscores between the words. But my preference is to start every variable name with a lowercase letter. And then every time you get to a new word, just capitalize that letter. So the N there is capitalized. Now, once you've done that, now what we are able to do, and I'll just quickly show you, we can print the result. So I'll just say print the number. And if I run that and we put in, say, 34, I'm going to get 34 printed out in the interpreter down here. So great, that's working so far. Now let's say that we wanted to check whether or not that number was, say, bigger or smaller than some particular value. So to do that, we'd have to say something like if the number is greater than, let's go, 100, then what I'm going to do, and again, I put a colon at the end of the if statement, and I'm going to print out that's a big number. And then using our control block here, we'll just say else print that's pretty small. Okay, now when we run this, we are going to see that there's actually an error that will occur. So we'll try it, and we're going to run, and we'll say 34, hit enter, and we get this. It says type error, unorderable types, string greater than integer is what that stands for. And what that means is that this right here is of the string data type, and this right here is of the integer data type. So remember the 4 primitive data types that we've already talked about. And also remember that every time I take an input from the user, it's always going to be a string. So what I need to do is realize that the number is currently a string, but I want to turn it into an integer. So I'm just going to say the number now is going to equal the integer version of the number. And so this is typecasting. All I'm doing is I'm just calling a function called integer, and I'm passing it the value that was inside of the number, and then I'm just setting it back to equal the number again. Okay, so if we try that and we put in, say, 34, I get that's pretty small, 34. And if we put in, say, 150, I get that's a big number. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies for you how we take an input and how we convert the type. Remember as well, this doesn't have to just be an int. You could also make it a float, and that would work out just fine as well. In which case, if I put in 35, I'll get that's pretty small. And notice that it's 35.0 because it's a float. Okay, hopefully that helps you out.